All right. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Klein. Hey, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to meet with you today and discuss some important insurance and financial issues that may or may not be of concern with you. The whole reason for our meeting today, as I mentioned to you on the phone, is I wanted to introduce myself and my company, New York Life, and determine if I could be of assistance in some of your insurance and financial planning that's important to you and where you're at in today's world. The way I work with all my clients is take a look at where you are today, see where you want to be in the future, and help you design a plan to get there more efficiently and effectively as possible. And at the same time, answer any questions, concerns you have for me about your current situation, what's offered through work, or even about what New York Life has to offer to supplement what you currently have. But as a result, this time we spend together, my goal is to be able to make the appropriate recommendations to get you heading in the right direction. Does that sound fair? Great. Hey, two things I go over with all my clients before we even get started. Number one is confidentiality. Everything we discuss today remains here in this room, right? There's no threat of it leaving this room. But with that being said, one of the biggest ways we're benefited in this business is through word of mouth. So if you see value in information I share with you, would you have any objection introducing me to 3, 4, 5 other people you care enough about? Great. Is there any questions prior to us even getting started? Nope. Okay, great. So, hey, as we dive in, I'm going to go through a quick presentation to give you a better sense of who we are and what we do. But let me ask you this. How familiar are you with New York Life? Oh, you heard of us. Yes, great. So I always point out there's always 3 things you want to take into consideration when choosing a company to do business with. And that's longevity, financial strength, and ratings. And see, New York Life's been around for over 175 years, right? So there's no threat of them outliving me or you, right? We're going to be around probably for another 175 years. But what makes New York Life very unique is the fact that we are financially secure. We have over $27 billion in surplus, money in excess of what we owe our clients. As you can see, number 67 on the Fortune 500, we're the largest privately held company. And what does mutuality mean? It means that we don't have greedy shareholders or CEOs we have to answer to and appease, right? Those are the people who really kind of dictate the trajectory of a company, and we don't have those people. The people who own our company are policyholders like you and I. So that's what's great about New York Life. And the fact that we've been profitable for over 168 consecutive years really speaks volumes. It lets you know how financially strong New York Life is to weather many storms. And as you can see here, we're the highest rated insurance company in the nation. We're AAA rated by all 4 major rating agencies. So when you take into consideration how long we've been around, our financial strength and ratings, would you have any objection choosing to do business with a company like this? No, it's a pretty sound company, right? Great. So any other questions about New York Life? Okay, great. So as you can see here, my main focus, my main role is to become your trusted partner, right? And we focus on holistic planning here. So we really want to focus on overall financial planning. But before I get into that, let me share with you a little bit about myself and what led me to New York Life 17 years ago. Is, you know, I grew up in the Bay Area, been involved in sports my whole life, and I was one of those guys who you know, my father was never around. He was always working hard, you know, to put a roof over our head, put food on the table, and he did construction. So my dad was gone 300 out of 365 days a year. And what was crazy is I remember growing up, I used to, being the youngest of 4, hate the fact that my father was never there to play catch with me, take me to the ball fields like all my other friends' parents. And so I was working hard to really, you know, football's kind of my focus, and that's what helped me get a scholarship, you know, into college. But I remember my father started working at a very young age because he had my brother in the 60s, back then when that was kind of taboo. Like, you didn't have kids in high school. And he had my oldest brother in high school. So he had to join a trade, get started right away. But little did anybody know, he started planning. He met with a financial planner and started saving money at an early age. So since he started working at age 18, he started saving money. So by the time I got a football scholarship, he came home at the age of 55. And he says, hey, I'm going to retire. And my mom kind of looked at him and says, no, you're not. You're not retiring. We can't afford it. And he says, well, I'm going to be able to survive on about close to 85% of my income. And I want to be able to travel around and watch my only child who got a scholarship to go to football or go to college be able to play football around the nation. So I had a huge paradigm shift, right? And I remember hating my father growing up, never being around, appreciate the fact that I had a roof over my head. But had he not sat down and done planning at a young age, he would have never been able to comfortably retire at age 55. And so that's really kind of steered my direction as I started getting into business, wanting to dabble in finance. what made me so excited about coming into this opportunity is be able to have that impact, such as that financial planner did with my father many moons ago, and allowing him to retire early and travel around and watch me play football. So that's really what led me here today, and I absolutely love what I do. But our role is far more than just really just providing life insurance, right? As you can see, financial security is a huge part of what we do. Retirement, children's education, estate conservation, even providing an income for the rest of your life. And the biggest concern that's growing here in the state of California is extended care. Who's going to take care of you when you can't take care of yourself anymore? So any questions on those 6 common areas that we focus in on? Okay, great. Hey, so also I want to let you know that I also coordinate planning with these other financial professionals that you may be currently working with or you're looking to work with. And these are attorneys, accountants, CPAs, property and casualty agents, people who handle your HR benefits, even other trusted confidants who help you make your important financial decisions in life. I want to make sure that we're working together, and any recommendations I make doesn't conflict with what you have going on, but ultimately helps you reach your financial objectives. Does that sound fair? Great. And so if you don't have any of these people, you're looking to get connected with some of them, I am networking constantly. I do have quite a few people in each one of these areas that I can help professionally introduce you to. Great. So here at New York Live, as we're almost done here with our process, and what I wanted to really shine some light on today is we use a system called Financial GPS, right? And it basically stands for guidance, preparations before we make any recommendations or solutions. And when you think of GPS, we think of if we were navigating a trip somewhere. Let's say we were trying to go to Disneyland, and you want to take the family down to Disneyland. Most likely what you're going to do either at or before you start driving away is you're going to pull up your GPS on your cell phone, and you're going to type in the address on where you're going, specifically Disneyland, and what's the most efficient and effective way to get down there to avoid traffic. How can you get down there quickly, and you name it, right? It's going to give you the best route possible. When we look at financial planning, we also got to keep the end in mind on where we're trying to go. So if it's retirement, if it's protecting our family, right? It's really understanding what is that end in mind, so we know how to efficiently and effectively get there. Does that make sense? And so this is really our focus for today, is really get a better sense of where you are and where you want to be. And when we think of guidance, right, there's a lot of things on this list. When most people think of guidance, is there anything that stands out to you that you'd like to get some clarification or more information on? Okay, absolutely. A lot of people are always looking at ways to lower their taxes, right? I know I mentioned that to you on the phone on how we can provide a tax-free retirement. I'm going to be able to touch on that today. Retire when you want. I mean, that's a big concern. And oftentimes people are handed a packet at work saying, hey, here goes the benefits we provide, but they never customize it to you. Absolutely. So we'll be able to touch on that as well. And so this just really gives you a sense of guidance really comes at different points in different parts of your life. It's my job to help make sure that we're not overlooking any of these things that are important to you, so that way we can lay out the groundwork to get you there as efficiently as possible. And now what I love about our preparation, right, we sit down with a lot of people, and number one is we set up these steps, right? Step one is really think about your goals. And for most of our clients, we look at, I have a front and back piece of paper, goals, the things we want to accomplish, things we want to do, and we want to lay those out. I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me, right? So I really want to kind of lay out everything you want to accomplish. Step two is we want to prioritize your most important financial goals. Is it bulletproofing your retirement? Is it protecting your family? Is it setting up the college funding plan in place for your kids or grandkids, right? Whatever is most important, we're going to prioritize. Put it at the top of that list. Step three is really develop a plan of action. This could be a fun exercise. We get to know each other, but if we don't initiate a plan of action today, right, what's going to change 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now or even 2 years from now, right? The reality is we have to put things in place now, so that way anything we're working on, right, it's going to help us get there more efficiently, more effectively. So if all we accomplish, for example, is protection, we can go back 6 to 12 months from now and look at, maybe it's accumulation, maybe it's retirement, maybe it's college funding, right? We can look at the other priorities that are on your list. And that's where step 4 comes in. And where we take a lot of pride in is every 6 to 12 months, you and I will sit down on a professional basis and do a review. Anything we put together, we want to make sure it still meets your goals, your budget, your desired outcome. And if we need to move on to the second goal, then we'll look at it then, right? But every 6 to 12 months, we're going to get together. And I always tell people, the sooner you start, the gradual this process will be. The longer you wait, the steeper these steps become. And so we want to get started now, and we want to cut out procrastination, which is the biggest reason why most Americans are not where they want to be. Make sense? Great. Any questions on that? Okay, great. So as we look into solutions, right, I really want to shine some light on where we take a lot of pride in.